Hello there, welcome to my channel Mo Moon. My name is Mo. Welcome. Today I am doing a video on the fifth hell of Golakab, which is called the Maze. This is another episode in my Qliphoth Journeys series, and it is the most recent that I am uploading when this is done. And I have a whole bunch of videos that come before this, and if you want to kind of figure out where this journey started, you can go back to my first videos and kind of follow this journey of the Qliphothic tree. So I have a book, Tree of Qliphoth by the Temple of Ascending Flame, and this book was brand new, but it's quite beat up now because I've just been carrying it around with me, rereading what I'm supposed to be experiencing. So if you haven't seen the prior videos to this one, I'll leave, if I can, a link to the Qliphoth Journeys playlist in the description box down below. And you can find all the videos in that playlist if you want to kind of follow chronologically this journey that I'm going on. So, as I said, I'm using this book, Tree of Qliphoth, and it details the Tree of Qliphoth and the different Qliphothic spheres within the tree. And I'm not going to go over what this tree is about again. I have a whole video about my revelations about the tree prior to this video. So all you have to know for now is that this is the book I'm following, Tree of Qliphoth, because I'm going through the Qliphothic tree. And I started this journey almost a year ago now. And so it's been a while. And I'm still climbing the tree, and I'm in Golakab. So I'll just show you where Golakab is located on the tree. It's right here. So I started at the bottom and I slowly made my way up to here, Golakab, the burning one. And within Golakab, ruled by King Asmodeus, a spirit, an entity, if you will, that you work with when you travel this tree. So King Asmodeus rules the realm of Golakab, and Golakab encompasses 9 hells, all ruled by King Asmodeus. So prior to coming into this, maybe even journey, I already had a relationship with King Asmodeus. So I don't know if I had like a leg up prior to getting here, because I don't know if my knowledge of his energy kind of made it not as difficult to face, because the Qliphothic tree mirrors the Sephirotic tree. One is known as the Tree of Death, and one is known as the Tree of Life. One is known as the Tree of Knowledge, and the other one's known as the Tree of Life. And so on the Tree of Life looks quite similar to this, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's upside down or the other, or right side up for the Tree of Life, but it has the exact same amount of circles in the tree and the exact same amount of paths through the tree. And each path is ruled by a different spirit. Some of them are ruled by several spirits, if not all of them. And it's not just about getting to the Qliphoth, it's about going through the tunnel as well. So if I wanted to expand on this playlist, I would have been a little bit more diligent and thorough in creating a video for each one of the paths and the spirit of that path. But maybe that's something that if I ever do this journey again, once I finally complete this one, if I ever decide to do it again, I might take my time a little bit more with it. So on the Tree of Life, this is Gavura, which is known as Gabura, which is known as strength. So it's Gabula on the Tree of Life, and it's Golakab on the Tree of Knowledge, but it is in the same spot. It's just one side and the other side of the tree of the tree's sphere. So they compare it to Gabura on the Tree of Life, and Gabura is the Qliphoth within the Tree of Life, where it's about severity. It's about the severity of God that needs to be present in order for the God of this tree to be able to express himself properly as a God would. And so it's a very severe Sephiro on the Tree of Life, Gabura, if it's not the most severe one, because it's supposed to be about severity, if I'm not mistaken. And in Golakab, it is also about severity, but apparently, according to this book that I'm reading, it is more fierce than the pillar, than the Sephiro Gabura. This Qliphoth, Golakab, is more severe than the Sephiro Gabura. So it's supposed to be rough. It's supposed to be a really rough Qliphoth to get through. Now, looking back on my journey through the Qliphoth, I am so grateful for everything, really. Like, I'm excited now. I've reached a point where I'm excited to keep going forward. Whereas in the beginning, I was also excited, but I was also worried because my journey in the Qliphothic sphere of Lilith or Nama was such a harsh lesson that I was like, I had stepped into the Qliphothic journey and I didn't realize, like I did realize, because if you go back to my videos, you realize that I said before I started the journey, I was having a really, really tough day energetically. And I didn't know if that was an entity, perhaps Lucifer, telling me, listen, if you're not ready to experience this energy, this is your warning before you step into the tree. This is what it's gonna be like. And it happened to me while I was at work, and it was just a really energetically rough day for me. Like there was nothing outside of myself that was out of the ordinary. It was a regular day at work, but like I just felt like it was just so heavy. And you know, I had a comment in my last video that said that there looks like there's no joy in my eyes, and that these entities will devour you and they want to destroy you. You know, is there no joy in my eyes? I mean, I'm recording this in the dark. You can't see my eyes. My eyes look dark. You know what I mean? And the video that I created where she said that was a dark video. So, you know, if anybody who knows me in this life knows that I'm a happy individual, knows that I am a loving individual, knows that I'm a caring individual, knows that I am joyful because I can care for people. It's my profession. I take care of people for a living. And when I say I take care of people, I mean I take care of their health. I help them to be comfortable. I help them to get better. I help them to feel better in the moment, you know, forgetting about their illnesses. And I help them to traverse that difficult path of illness. So, you know, my job is tough, you know, and but so is the Qliphoth. So when I felt like I had that warning, are you sure you want to step into the first Qliphothic sphere? Because once you step in, the only way out is going all the way to the top. And that's going to be difficult. So if you're not ready to experience this energy over a long period of time, I recommend you don't step into the Qliphothic sphere Lilith or Nama. And you know what? I'm so curious, and like, I don't want people telling me I can't do something. I'm an Aquarius, so I'm rebellious by nature, and it's in my zodiac to be. I'm ruled. One of my ruling planets is Uranus. Uranus is the planet of rebellion, of uprising, of forward movement, of forward thinking, of energies that are not always constantly the same. It's Uranus. It's a wild planet, and that's my ruling planet along with Saturn, as an Aquarius. So Saturn being my ancient ruling planet, and Uranus being my more recent ruling planet. Two planets that rule my sign, and one is Saturn, which is about boundaries and limitations, and the other one is about being wild and free. And so even though I knew that this journey would take me on a journey where I would be bound to limitations within the sphere that I'm in, the Qliphothic sphere, I knew that in order to break free of this opportunity that had been presented to me was not to be like, oh no, I can't do it, I'm going to turn back from it, but was to be like, oh no, I'm going to do this. Like, trust me, I'm going to do this and I'm going to get through it and I'm going to be victorious at the end of it. And that's kind of what it was like doing my prep for my competition and winning my competition. I was just like, if you tell me I can, I'm going to tell you I can, and I'm going to do it, and you're going to watch me do it. And so that's kind of how I responded to this energy. I don't know if it was Lucifer. I'm pretty sure it was Lucifer who said to me, like, this is a foretaste of what you're going to be going through, and can you do it? And no, you know, like, you're not going to tell me I can't do it. Like, even Lucifer can't tell me when I can't do something. I'm just going to do it anyways. And you know what? Lucifer supports that, because even though Lucifer is a kind God, he's also a God who wants you to break past your limitations. And so I'm sure that, you know, I was looked at fondly for deciding to do that. And I trust Lucifer completely. This is actually the tree of Lucifer. And if you watch my prior videos, you'll see why I said that, comparing it to the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden, and Lucifer coming as the light bringer in the form of a snake. So, excuse me. So now I'm in Golakab, and I'm happy to be here. I've been here for 6 months at least, or almost, and in the realm of Golakab. And I haven't just been stagnant here. I've been slowly making my way through each of the 9 hells which reside in the realm of Golakab, ruled by King Asmodeus. And this is about the 5th hell, called the Maze. And I'm going to tell you what this 5th hell has shown me. And I'm going to try to do it to the best of my ability, because it's really hard to access the knowledge while being confined in the Qliphothic sphere. And especially this one, the maze, because the maze is not just a maze set on a platform. The maze is a maze set on a moving lake of fire. And so here I am on this moving lake of fire, trying to get through this maze, and knowing that King Asmodeus is rowing the boat. And I tested the lesson of this maze by entering into the lake of fire and dissolving in the lake of fire to the point where you lose yourself in oblivion. You have no knowledge of anything outside of yourself. And so to tell you what is the lesson when I'm in this lake of fire and I don't feel anything outside of myself, when I'm trying to access the knowledge, it feels like it has to come from within me, but I have to get back into the boat with King Asmodeus now and let him guide us safely out of the maze into the next hell. And so I'm going to be going into the 6th hell, but right now the maze is the 5th hell, and it's really just trusting in this hell. One can lose themselves in oblivion, and you have to trust that your character, your understanding, your wisdom is strong enough to help you to get back in the boat, to remember that you have more outside of yourself, and to wake up from that lake of fire and to grab back onto that boat and to pull yourself back onto that boat. And King Asmodeus is there in his long black hooded, tattered robe, and you can't see him because he represents the oblivion itself as well. And he's just rowing you on this boat, and all you see are his hands, his bony hands, and you know that there is someone there. Even though you look into the oblivion, you see that there is evidence that someone is there, and that someone is going to get you through to the end of the maze. And you know, I pause, you know, and I can't say that anything has changed on the day side, because this journey doesn't just affect one spiritually, it also is supposed to, according to what I've heard, have evidence on the day side as well. So, I mean, I don't really want to be one to talk about my personal life on camera. I've done a few vlogs of my life, and I think that's pretty much all you guys ever really need to see at this point. And for me to tell you what I'm going through in my physical life now, I can tell you it's evident. I can tell you that it is evident in the physical realm, in the day side, but I don't want to describe to you my life personally at this point. So I'm not going to go into the evidences on the day side, but I can say that on the night side, it's been very eerily quiet, and that is one of the characteristics of this hell, the maze, that it is, all you hear is the crackling of the flames in the lake of fire, and even the entities who are locked in the lake of fire, who have gone into oblivion and don't realize anything anymore, even those entities don't make any noise in this hell. All you hear is silence and the fire crackling. And so you're in a maze, I mean, and it's not just, it's like an underground vault maze, and it's large and it goes in all directions. And if you get into that lake of fire, you know, and you lose yourself to the oblivion, you have to know and trust in your own power to wake yourself up and to get back in that boat and to acknowledge yourself and to understand that you passed the test, you know. And that's just for me, for my personal, you know, knowledge of this Qliphothic sphere, and this specific hell within it. And you know what the funny thing is, once you know how to wake yourself up from this lake of fire, you have the knowledge of how to do it over and over again if you need to, because the energy is imprinted in your being. And so even now I can get back into that lake of fire, and I know how to wake myself up and how to get back into the boat, and it's actually kind of fun. And it's interesting to experience. It makes me just really believe that it's not these beings that want my destruction or my happiness. It's me who has to take control of my being and my happiness. And there is nothing outside of myself that will be stronger than myself. And when I say that, I mean I will not be able to find anyone outside of myself who is as strong as I am to get myself out of this lake of fire. And that goes for every lesson before this one, before I got to Golakab. So, you know, I wouldn't recommend anybody to do the journey, just because I know it's difficult, and I don't want people to have to go through that. But if you are like me, and you know how I described myself at the beginning of this video, as an Aquarius, if you are like me, no one can stop you anyways. And that doesn't mean that you have to be an Aquarius sun, among many other different placements within Aquarius, but we're all different, and only you can tell yourself whether or not you're ready for something in the core of your being. You know, you can ask anyone else, should I do this or should I not do this? But ultimately, you're the one who has to know better than anyone else whether or not you should do something. And that goes for starting this journey through the Qliphoth as well. I'm not your mother. I'm a grown adult. If I want to go through something, I can decide to go through it. If you want to ask your mother if you should do it, then maybe you're not ready. But you know, it's interesting. I don't know if I have the full picture in this book of the tree and the names on the tree. Oh, here it is. So Lilith, Gamaliel, Samael, Arabsarak, Bagirion, Golakab. So I've gone through all those realms that I just mentioned, and now I'm in Golakab. Then I'm on my way to Dath, or the Abyss. Then I make my way to Satariel. Then I make my way to Gagiel. And then I make my way up to Thamael. Thamael is the top of the tree. So as you see from that tree diagram, I still have like half the tree to do. So it's been a year almost, and I still have half the tree to do. And again, it's personal. Some people probably take a lot longer than me to get through the tree so far. Maybe some people did it faster than I did. But it's personal to your own life. It's personal to your regular routine. You know, if you work a full-time job, if you're your own boss, you know, if you, I don't know, if you have 2 jobs, you know, if you are busy with family life or your parents or your siblings, like it's going to be different for everyone, how long it takes them to get through this. And I've made a plan for myself to get through this in the next, let me just look at the diagram again. Okay, so it's going to take me 4 more months to get through Ghola Khab, according to me. And then I have to go to Gag Shabla, so that's 5 months. And then I have to go to the Abyss, so that's 6 months. And then I have to go to Satariel, so that's 7 months. And then I have to go to Gagiel, so that's 8 months. And then I have to go to Thamael, so that's 9 months. And then I'm going to give myself at least a month to get the understanding of what that's about. And then it's going to be 10 months. And I'm going to make a video at the end of 10 months, according to me, where I'm going to tell you what Thamael is like and what the journey has taught me as I have completed it and as I have been initiated through the Tree of Qliphoth. That's what they call it. They call it your Qliphothic initiation. And it's a really interesting book. It is created by the Temple of the Ascended Flame. And there are several authors to this book here that I have. But it is edited and compiled by Asenath Mason. So Asenath Mason knows a lot about this stuff, and she wrote a whole other book about it, which was too expensive for me to buy. I think it was called Qliphothic Meditations, but it's in the hundreds of dollars for the book, and this one was like most $35 with shipping. So it's not as, I don't think it's as obvious how to get through the tree with this book. I think you have to kind of figure a lot of stuff out yourself in order to be successful. I mean, up until this point I am, and I will continue to be. But if you're as passionate about magic as I am, and the dark arts as well, this Tree of Qliphoth book, you know, if you have enough knowledge, you can draw the lines for this book and get through there. You can. It's not that difficult. You don't need a $300 or $400 book to get through the Tree of Qliphoth and get your initiation through it. Not if you have been through enough lessons in your lifetime to initiate, to start going into it. I am not gonna lie. My life has been really rough, really effing rough, like, and now it's much better. But the lessons I learned, you know, over the course of my life, and I'm no spring chicken, as everybody knows. I don't think I need to lie about my age. I'm gonna be 44 in January, so like, you know, I'm like in the elder years of middle-aged adult, you know, like, and so, and it's not like I'm new to the game, you know what I mean? I'm not new to the game. Like, before I even decided I was a witch, I was going through things that were preparing me to claim my title as a witch. I was going through things in the physical world and in the spiritual world that most people would not be able to last through. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying that for any other reason than just to tell you the truth. So spiritually, I've learned a lot. Physically, I've learned a lot. Physically, I've been through a lot. Spiritually, I've been through a lot. And those are the main two things that I know a lot about: spirituality and the physical world. And that's how I joined the two so effortlessly with this book, to get myself through this. Some people might be saying, I don't know, maybe it's popular now for people to do this. I don't know. It seems like when I started initiating into it, it wasn't popular, but it seems like I jumped in when it became popular, and I didn't know that. So, some people are younger than me and they've probably finished it, and some people are older than me and they may never do it. But I guess that's just the long-winded way of saying, you know, trust your gut. If you think you can do it and you think you can last on the physical plane, not that you don't have joy, but just that you don't fear death anymore. You don't fear death anymore. So that's one of the lessons that the Qliphoth has taught me, how not to fear death. And so when you don't fear death, when the Qliphoth teaches you not to fear death, and maybe that's a taboo word on YouTube, I don't know, like, it's the natural process of life. Like I was saying, I work in an environment where it's about people's health and people are dying, people are having cardiac arrests, you know, you're pumping their hearts, you know, physically to help them to be revived, to come back to life. You know, death is not something that I'm new to, you know what I mean? Like I work in an environment where I see death and I wrap the bodies of the dead and I let them go on their way into the morgue. So, you know, I see death regularly. People die of illnesses. That's what happens in the domain that I'm in. So am I going to turn away from the ability to be unafraid of death? Of course I'm going to. Why should I fear death? I see it all the time. And so that's one of the lessons that I learned in the Qliphoth, is how to actually face death and how to be like, you know what, I'm ready. I'm ready. You know, if I need to die tomorrow somehow, you know, like, okay, my stepbrother died in a car accident at 21, you know, and now it's the time of Samhain, and the veil in between the living and the dead is thinning, the atmosphere is thinning. And so, you know, if my stepbrother died at 21, you know, that was tragic, you know, for me. But if I'm 43 years old and my brother died at 21, you don't think that I'm going to be excited to see him when I cross the veil? Like, you know what I mean? I want to see him too. So it's like, if that's what death is to me, death is seeing my stepbrother Patrick, you know, who passed at 21 in a car accident, you know, and had no guiltiness in that car accident. He was the passenger, you know. So I want to see him. And that's the energy of death to me. The energy of death to me is meeting my brother again. And so the Qliphoth has taught me to not fear death, and among many other things. And so I guess that's it. I got a little personal, I'm not gonna lie, but this is personal stuff from the past. I'm not gonna tell you personal stuff about my current present moment. It's just normal. Like watch a vlog or something. But yeah, I don't mean to be rude with anybody, but these are a little bit more heavy videos than my week ahead readings. My week ahead readings are fun. My week ahead readings are always going to help you to feel better at the end of them. But this is a journey of the Qliphothic spheres. So it's a little heavier, and if this is your first heavy video that you're watching in this playlist, I just want to warn you that there are other things that I talk about in the other Qliphothic videos prior to this one that might trigger people, and they might really upset people. So please don't watch them if you're not ready to be triggered. That's your warning in this video if you're watching and you're new to this series. Okay, so cheers. I hope this was a helpful video. Please remember to like this video by leaving a thumbs up. Comment and I'll try to get back to you. And subscribe to my channel if you want to. This is my way of creating art, so not everybody likes the same type of art. So if you're not into my type of art, then no worries. Honestly, like, there are plenty of other people creating art, especially on this platform, and if you want to subscribe to that type of art creator, go for it. Go for it. Be my guest. I'll subscribe to anybody that I think is inspirational. But if you don't find me inspirational, then you don't like my art. And honestly, there's no tears on my end of it. So blessed be. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.